Hey, how you guys doing out there today? This is Stefan Jimenez from the Roto Beast team, and I'm here to present you our NBA picks for Wednesday, February 7th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. And please make sure to click the like button on this video as it really helps us out. So, before we jump into these picks, a solid night tonight for the money team. We cashed on both Fanduel and DraftKings. If you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing every single night, visit our website at www.rotobeast.net, and hey, we can get this money together. So we'll jump into this 6-game slate. It's an alright slate. There's a couple spots to attack, but I'm not really feeling it too much. Hopefully tomorrow we can find some value. I couldn't really find too much today. So we'll start with Minnesota going into Cleveland to face the Cavs. This game has a 221 implied total. Minnesota's favored by 3.5. Then we got Houston going into Miami to face the Heat. This game has a 211.5 implied total. Houston's favored by 4.5. Next, we got Brooklyn going into Detroit to face the Pistons. This game has a 209 implied total. Detroit's favored by 9.5. We got Utah at Memphis. This game has a 202.5 implied total. Utah's favored by 7.5. And the two games that don't have lines out yet, we also got Indiana going into New Orleans to face the Pelicans. And we got San Antonio going into Phoenix to face the Suns. So let's just jump into these picks, see what we could come up with. I'm going to go through the picks a lot quicker. I've been taking too much time on them. First, I like Chris Paul. It's not the best matchup against Miami. They're a pretty good defensive team, but he's a top point guard on the slate. He's been playing pretty well. Then you got Rubio. I mean, his price is going up. This is not the best matchup, but he's playing very well. For me, I think he's a little bit more of a GPP play just because that price is getting high. But, I mean, from what he's been doing recently, he definitely warrants that price tag coming up. He has at least 38 fantasy points in 4 straight games, 33 fantasy points in 6 straight. He's playing very well. You got Dragic going against Houston. This game, I don't really like taking people against Chris Paul, but he's a guy who's going to play minutes. He does a little bit of everything. It's just going to be an up-tempo game. And the price tag is very fair. You need 35 for him to hit value. He's averaging 30 on the season. Houston is on a back-to-back, so I'm liking him. You got Jeff Teague against Cleveland. Love taking point guards against Cleveland. He's kind of up and down, but for the most part, I mean, he's playing very well. His price is down. For him to hit value, we need about 28. He's averaging 29 on the season. I mean, he has upside. I'm liking Teague. Lastly, I'll talk about Corey Joseph. He started last game since Carlson is out for a couple weeks. He played 35 minutes. If he's going to be the starter, you got to like him. He needs 25 for value. Another guy that got a lot of minutes with Carlson being out was this guy, Joe Young. And he put on a show, scored 17 points in 27 minutes. One thing that I don't really care for is the fact that, he didn't really get any other stats. He got a steal, 2 rebounds. But, hey, he put up some shots and scored some buckets. Got 22. That's a solid score on this price tag. So definitely keep an eye out for news tomorrow. Then we got shooting guard, James Harden. Anytime he's on the slate, he's going to be the top shooting guard. 56 for him to hit value. He is on a back-to-back. Miami isn't the best game, so this matchup scares me a little bit, but, he has, obviously we've seen it pretty much 100-point upside any night. Oladipo, if he was to be in this matchup, you definitely consider him as a GPP, but the price tag is up. You need about 48 for him to hit value. Drew Holiday's a guy I'm really liking going against Indiana. Up-tempo game, especially if Oladipo's out. You're not going to have, that Oladipo defense on him. He plays a lot of minutes. They need him to score with Cousins out. For him to hit value, we need about 37. He's averaging 36 on the season. He's a very consistent guy. You got Donovan Mitchell. Everybody's going to go away from him because he had a dud last game. I guess he was supposedly still sick, but nobody said that. Everything I read said he was going to play full allotment of minutes. But, hey, if he's going to get back to his minutes, it's not the best matchup against Memphis. It's going to be a pretty slow-paced game. But the young guy does have upside. He's probably going to be really owned since he's burned a bunch of people. Wiggins going against Cleveland. We know Cleveland drafted him. He has that that revenge factor. He's been playing very well in the season. For him to hit value, you need about 31. He's averaging 29 on the season. Wiggins, he gets his minutes, which you really gotta like for the most part. He play high minutes. Cleveland, they can't play defense for nothing. So I'm really liking Wiggins. Another guy we could quickly talk about, Gordon, with the reason continuing to be out, that he's going to play, about 30 minutes a game. Today he only played 28, but it was his first game back from injury. You can definitely see him getting back up to 32, 34 minutes. He's a guy that definitely has the upside. For him to hit value, we need about 27, 28. He's averaging 27 on the season. That's kind of really all I'm liking at shooting guard. Small forward, LeBron, straight GPP for me. The guy just isn't doing much. Saw a matchup against the Timberwolves, but he's got 37, 40, 14. He's just playing like a bum, to be honest with you. And I think that he's going to be leaving Cleveland for sure. But he does have upside, so I look at him for GPP. Jimmy Butler, somebody I'm liking. You need 47 for him to have value. He's playing very consistent. Cleveland can't play defense. Enough said. I don't really like Warren going against San Antonio. Against anybody else, he probably would have been in play. You got Richardson going against Houston, up-tempo game. He doesn't have to worry about Trevor Ariza defense. I think that he's a solid play. He's been very consistent on the season. The price tag is still a little bit elevated. For him to have value, need about 32. He's averaging 26 on the season. But if he gets you 27, 28, it's not even going to kill you too much. Next, we're going to go to Lance Stevenson. If he's going to start again, because Oladipo's out or whatever, and he's going to play 37 minutes, the guy's going to get you massive fantasy points. He's a fantasy point per minute, monster. So definitely keep an eye on the news tomorrow. I kind of like Kyle Anderson against Phoenix. The problem is the minutes are up and down, but he is a solid play. Then we got DeMar Carroll going against the Pistons. He's probably the most consistent net that you can really depend on. He's going to play low 30 minutes. One thing I will note is he is on a back-to-back, but you need 25 for him to have value. He's averaging 26. And like I said, he just does a little bit of everything, especially with Hollis Jefferson out. He's playing a couple extra minutes at the 4. Power forward, we got Blake going against, Brooklyn. For him to have value, you need 46. He's averaging 41 on the season. He can have a really good game. This is a really good spot to have a good game for him. Aldridge going against Phoenix. It's a really good spot for him as well. He continues to be their leading scorer. He's pretty much the MVP on the team. You need 42 for him to have value. He's averaging 39. Got Mirotic, very up-tempo game against Indiana. The first game he played, he went off 48 fantasy points. He kind of had an off game. This is a great spot for him to bounce back against Thaddeus Young defense. I'm really feeling Mirotic. Price is up, so he may be a little bit more of a GPP play, but nonetheless, he's a solid play. Gibson going against Cleveland. Cleveland can't play defense. Hopefully this game stays somewhat close. Cleveland's on a back-to-back. And, he's going to play his minutes. He's going to play 33 to 35 minutes for a big man. He doesn't do nothing special, but does a little bit of everything, works hard, consistent cash game play. Then we can look at Thaddeus Young, or you can look at Derek Favors. I'm liking Favors. Price tag is a little bit down right now. You need 27 for value. He's averaging 27 on the season. And then, he's just been playing well. He's playing consistent. I like him. Then we got center, Anthony Davis. This is a guy I'm really liking. I definitely think he could dominate in this matchup. He's coming off a down game. He got a day of rest. He needs 60 to hit value. Before this past game, he got, 60 or very close in like 5 or 6 straight. I'm really liking him. You got Drummond. His price tag is up right now going against Nets. He's going to be low owned. He can definitely question this spot. He's somebody that I'm really liking as well. I think I like Anthony Davis a little bit more for cash games. But nonetheless, Drummond, he's been playing, awesome. And he said he likes playing with Griffin. They're playing very well together. Towns going against Cleveland. Cleveland's horrible defense. They give up massive points. Towns, he's kind of been up and down a little bit, but we know this guy has 60-point upside. The price tag is fair. For him to get value, you need about 46. He's averaging 43 on the season. I like him against the cash for sure. Then we got, you can look at Capella. I don't really like going against Whiteside, but I mean, he could definitely do work. Then you got Gobert as well. He's going against Gasol. Center's kind of the position. I think you're probably gonna have to pay up for Anthony Davis, to be honest with you. I prefer Davis over Harden. Harden on the back-to-back against Miami. I like him over LeBron. Center's a tough position. One more guy. One thing I will note: you got Tyson Chandler. He played a lot. Let me see real quick. Let me see if the game log's already up. Yeah, he played 30 minutes tonight against the Lakers. So, he could possibly be out tomorrow for rest. And, if that's the case, Lynn only played 6 minutes tonight. He could be in line for a start. And then his price is very fair. I mean, you would only need 22, 23 for value. If he got the start tomorrow, he's a guy that I would really like. So, let's get this core done. Like I said, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button for me. Make sure you click that like button, please. It really helps me out. So we'll go with the core real quick. Point guard, I'm liking Teague. Shooting guard, I'm liking Holiday. Small forward, I'm kind of liking Carroll. For the cheap. This is an ugly slate, so I like Blake. And I'm liking AD. So you have 5,000. So that's why we have to hope that we can kind of get some kind of value in there tomorrow. If not, I'll probably go down Griffin, go to, somebody like Gibson. He saw a cash game play going against the Cavs. But yeah, hey, that's kind of where I'm at. If you want to play my lineups that I'm actually playing, make sure to visit that website at www.rotobeast.net. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's make this money.